Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. English, Class 12. Goodbye, Mr. Chips. Chapters 4, 5, 6. Short questions. All Punjab boards. Previous annual papers of Lahore, Multan, Gujranwala, Sargodha, Rawalpindi, Sahiwal, Faisalabad, Bahawalpur, D.G.Khan and Azad Jammu Kashmir boards. Chapter 4. Goodbye, Mr. Chips. What were the views of Katherine about modern writers? What were the views of Katherine regarding the rights of women? What kind of political views did Katherine have? Why was spring 1896 important for Chips? Why duty was given to Mr. Chips in 1896? What was the name of the girl and how she looked like? What did Chips think about Katherine? How did Mr. Chips come across Katherine Bridge? What was the result of the first meeting between Mr. Chips and Katherine Bridges? How did Katherine fall in love with Chips? Why was Chips liked by Katherine in spite of his old age? How much time Mr. Roden spent with Mr. Chips at Lake District? How did Chips wrench his ankle? How did Mr. Chips come across Katherine Bridges? What happened with Chips when he hastened to help the girl? What caused Mr. Chips to rush to a dangerous ledge at Great Gable? Why did Mr. Chips hasten to the girl weaving from a dangerous rock? How did Mr. Chips meet Katherine for the first time? Write a note on Chips as a teacher. Where did Mr. Chips meet Katherine first time? What notion did Chips have about women? What were the views of Chips about women? What were Mr. Chips' views about modern women? What was the opinion of Mr. Chips about the radical writers like Ibsen and Bernard Shaw? Why did Chips not like Bernard Shaw and Ibsen? Compare the mental approach of Chips with that of Katherine. What type of woman did Chips like? How did Katherine help Chips in the matter of discipline? Why did Katherine visit Chips on her bicycle? Give a brief description of the appearance of Katherine Bridges. How did Katherine Bridges look? Describe physical charms of Katherine. How did Mr. Chips and Katherine start liking each other? Draw a character sketch of Katherine Bridges. Write down 5 sentences on views and ideas of Katherine Bridges. What was the job of Katherine Bridges? How was the table turned when Mr. Chips rushed to the rescue of the girl at the dangerous looking ledge? Describe the first meeting between Mr. Chips and Katherine. What were the political views of Katherine? Who was Mr. Chips? Who was with Mr. Chips when he went to Lake District? How did Katherine broaden his views? What do you know about Katherine beliefs about women? Describe the most interesting incident in the novel Goodbye, Mr. Chips. Why did Katherine like Mr. Chips initially? Why did Chips not marry till the age of 48? How did Chips feel in the company of women? Chapter 5 Goodbye, Mr. Chips. What did Katherine ask Chips before their marriage? Why did Mr. Chips often depreciate himself? Why was Katherine happy from Chips' profession? Why did Katherine like Mr. Chips? What did Chips tell Katherine about his weaknesses? What reasons did Chips tell Katherine about not marrying for a long time? Did Mr. Chips tell Katherine about all his weaknesses before marriage? What were his weaknesses? Write an account on Mr. Chips' married life. Was Chips' marriage successful or not? How changes did Chips' marriage bring in his life? How greatly was Mr. Chips changed after his marriage? How and when did Katherine die? When and how did Katherine and her newly born baby die? Where did Katherine start her new life of marriage? Why did Katherine like the profession of teaching? What were Katherine's views about Chip's profession? What was the effect of marriage on Chips? How did Katherine feel on the night before the wedding? Chapter 6. Goodbye, Mr. Chips. How was Mr. Chips living before marriage? Why did Chips sometimes look at his feet when he lived at Miss Wicket's? What were critical ideas of Mr. Chips? What sort of school was the mission of popular school? Write a note on Chips' humor. Why was Mr. Chips called a jester? What argues Katherine gave to Chips for the match between Brookfield and the mission? How did Master Views receive Katherine at Brookfield? Who won the soccer match? How much popular was Katherine in Brookfield? Was Katherine popular in Brookfield? What was the effect of Chips' marriage on his sense of humor? Describe Mr. Chips' life after the marriage. Why did the boys at school begin to love Chips after marriage? What changes were brought by Katherine in Chips? What changes did marriage bring in Chips? What changes did Katherine bring in Chips? Katherine made Mr. Chips a new man. Is it true? What influence did Katherine Bridges exercise on Mr. Chips? How was the football match made possible? How do you see the married life of Chips and Katherine? How was Chips' marriage a triumphant success? What was Chips' status at school at the time of marriage? How popular was Katherine in Brookfield School? Why did everybody at Brookfield oppose the popular boys' visit to Brookfield? How did Katherine make Chips a new man? How was Katherine welcomed at Brookfield? Like, share and subscribe my channel, Park Education Official.